episode 144. And Kevin is a permanent member of the cast now. So welcome permanently.
All right, Stateside Gooners for life.
That's
Should we
right.
get tattoos? No.
Well, I'm working on a new
Plus the
logo,
forehead.
something that we can use on merch. And so, yeah, that would be the one. This one's pretty complicated, but yeah, that'll be the one. Yep.
Nice.
We'll get them. We'll get neck tattoos.
There you
Gonna try to do a quickie today. We're gonna do a little bit of a first round plus 3 games, a little bit. I don't know, but let's just do first round. Sort of recap real quick. Kevin picked a best 11. We're gonna look at Gabriel Marcotti's and pick apart his choices, and then Kevin's got some honorable mention stuff. So we'll see how we like those. And then let's do a quick preview of the USA Bosnia Herzegovina game before that kicks off in 2 days. So we'll see if we can do this in 20-ish minutes. Let's see how it goes. So what were your grand thoughts of the first phase, the group stage?
That was long. That was really long. It's like almost 2 different World Cups. You got a 3-week long group stage, and then barely any teams were knocked out. So now we go into like the real deal with the knockout rounds, and this is where it just starts to get exciting. And you can see from a lot of those third round games, players just kind of sitting on the bench. Rice didn't play. A lot of people in the U.S. didn't play. That was a pretty big story throughout that third round of games. So,
and yet we had soccer play and some other players who hadn't been getting as much time getting time.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we got 5 games left for all the marbles.
Yeah. Unless you're Germany.
Unless, yeah. Then you're going on vacation.
We're recording not very long after Germany lost the shootout where they missed 3 out of 6. And the Paraguay goalie saved 2, and probably the GOAT goalkeeper in history, Manuel Neuer, only saved 1. He saved the absolute one he had to save to keep them in it. And I was collaborating, a little bit, texting back and forth with the guy from work, and he was like, my stomach hurts. And I said, football will give you an absolute high and then kill you, and then maybe give you another one, absolute high, ecstasy or the opposite, and then misery or the reverse, right? And so we got the misery, the ecstasy, and the misery in about 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Or
and it
maybe
brings back bad memories of the Champions League shootout where I was just ecstatic, screaming, and then on the ground in field position, like within a minute of one another.
I texted the Stateside Gooners group, Holy Gabriel Magalhaes?
Yeah.
Is that what I texted or something like that? Yeah.
After Todd blasted it over. Yeah.
Marcotti, he picked Courtois as his goalkeeper of the knockout rounds.
Of the group stage? Yeah, I didn't particularly care.
Sorry, the group stage.
Yeah. You have a stat for goalkeepers where it's goals prevented, and you usually want that to be positive. I've prevented goals as a goalkeeper. His was negative, so I don't really agree with his assessment there. I picked Becker, which, we probably on the Stateside Gooners wouldn't appreciate too much, but he faced 11 shots, had 10 saves. He prevented 1.4 goals, so I had him as my best goalie. But
if I'm right, he's the Liverpool goalie?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard not to think of Allison that way still.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1.4 goals prevented, and nobody had better than that?
There might have been a couple better than that, but that's the goalkeepers that were facing 20, 30 shots a game, like Vizina from, was that Cape Verde?
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't pick him. I'm surprised he didn't get picked by Marcotti either.
He was my honorable mention for goalkeepers. I liked him.
Okay.
More, it was a feel-good story. A 40-year-old in their first World Cup start, blanking Spain. That's pretty exciting way to introduce yourself.
Who did you take? I got to get back to Marcotti's thing, but who did you take for I'm making all kinds of bad noises here.
Defenders?
Yeah, who did you get for your back four?
I had Maxi Araujo from Uruguay, disappointing country, but he played well. 2 goals and an assist, 2 times player of the match, and 3 games that they should have won and didn't win any of them. So he's left. Hakimi on the right, he had a goal and assist, 2.5 expected goals, hands down the most of any defender.
Now hold on, let's just pause there for a second. So on the left side, Mark Hadi picked Cucurella, which I don't like anyway because Cucurella, but he's not at Chelsea anymore. He went to
Madrid.
So good for him.
Yeah, so we can like him, I guess, now.
Well, we can dislike him less.
That's fair. Yeah.
I don't have any beef with Real Madrid, by the way, especially after Rice. That should be a dish. Real Madrid with rice.
I'd buy that.
Munoz from Colombia, his right back.
Yeah, he was my honorable mention for D. He was great.
Yeah.
Good stats.
Yeah, I like that. And then who'd you pick in the middle?
I had VVD and Upamecano. So VVD had a goal and assist, which was the most from most goal return for defenders in the center. And then Upamecano had 7 interceptions and 18 recoveries. So
Wow.
pretty good defensive stats.
Not Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes.
Yeah, so I picked my players. They had to play all 3 games. So Saliba only played 2, Rice only played 2. Otherwise, I'd have them in there.
Right. Yeah, he picked Van Dijk and Kubarsi from Spain. I have not watched Spain play. I've seen highlights of 2 games, and that's it. There's so many games in that first round, and from early until starting at midnight, 1 or 2 of them, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a lot of games that I missed.
So Spain hasn't lit up a goal yet, so you got to give them a little bit of credit. Them and Mexico, I think, are the only 2 teams that haven't lit up a goal.
How much do you give credit to the goalie that's in front of Raya for that, and how much to the defense and the midfield?
It's that, and it's the fact that Spain just does death by 1,000 passes. So they're keeping the ball, just passing it around in the horseshoe, not really penetrating. They don't really have a striker. So
and if you don't, yeah, right. They only have 3, 4 forwards, and they're not really even that.
No real striker there.
And then, so let me start with his middle 2. He went 4-4-2. He went Guimaraes, who I don't like. I've seen ties to Arsenal, and I don't like those either. But he has had a good tournament. And then he followed that up with Rice in the middle. So Guimaraes and Rice, which would be interesting if he comes to Arsenal and that's what we end up with.
And that's our midfield pairing. Yeah. I would not look forward to that. But
love-hate.
He has played pretty well the tournament. He did make my 3. I played a 3 in the middle. So okay. I had Bruno, Bellingham, and Pedri. Both Bellingham and Pedri had 6 chances created, a few big chances between the 2 of them. Bruno had 3 assists, so he's been, playing deep, but he's been passing through the lines really well, finding those forwards. So I thought he's been playing really well. Each one of them has about 5 recoveries per game. Pedri's even got more than that. He's up near like 7 recoveries a game, which is really good for midfield. So
yeah,
those are my 3.
On the outside, he had Vinicius and Elise, which I can't disagree with either of those. I mean, that's more like wings.
Yeah.
But if you're in a 4-4-2, then yeah, you kind of have to go with those guys. And then up top, he's got Messi and Mbappe. Who do you have?
Yeah, so my wings were Vinny and Elise too. And then up top, I had to pick Messi over Mbappe just because he's got the 6 goals. He's got almost 4 expected goals, 2-time player of the match, and highest rating, 8.67 from Football.
8.67.
So, yeah.
And he should have had another goal
from
the penalty kick, and probably another 1 or 2 that he just kind of, you can't say he fluffed his lines, but between this, that, or the other thing, it didn't happen. But I think he could have 8, maybe 9.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which is crazy. Just Fontaine has 13. And if he had 8 or 9 after the first 3 games, he'd be potentially on pace for that. But there's 5 games left if he gets to the final. And so with 6 goals and 7 left to get in potentially 5 games, if he stays healthy, it's
He could
not
do it.
impossible. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You had some honorable mentions. What are the rest of those?
Yeah, so I mentioned the goalkeeper, Vizinha. He's my honorable mention there. Munez for defense. Vite, midfield, Mbappe at forward. Both played pretty good games.
Who's Vite? Remind me.
Who's Vite? I'm blanking right now.
That's all right. Ball, boot, glove.
Ball, boot, glove. I think ball, it's going to be Mbappe. He's been playing really well. 4 goals, 2 assists. Golden boot, I think it's got to be Messi. He's got to keep that scoring streak alive because Mbappe's probably going to break it in 8 years, and then 8 or 12 years you'll have Yamal. He'll be breaking that record too, so he's got to get that
Maybe.
record up.
Yeah.
For glove, I've got Unai Simon from Spain. I think he's got 3 already, and it's hard to see them not going pretty far in the knockout stage. They've got Portugal, so if they beat them, that might be their toughest test. But then after that, they've got the winner of U.S., Senegal, Belgium. So they could probably pretty easily make it to the semis.
And then it would be
France.
France. Yeah. Well, and that's, I mean, you got to have those guys. Young player?
Young player, I don't know much about him. Manzambi he's a Swiss guy. He's been playing really well.
Sounds like a Swiss guy.
Yeah. He came on as a sub in the first game, had a couple goals, then started after that. He's got a couple more goal contributions. So he's been playing pretty well. Young guy. Maybe we can pick him up. Who knows?
Best team, worst team?
I had France. Like, they're just dominating, and even in the third game, they're playing their starters. Those front 4 are just ridiculous. Dembele, Mbappe, you got Elise, and then you've got either Doué or Barcola. Like, pick your poison.
Do you have a close second?
I can't pick Spain because they didn't really play that well in the first round. England, I thought they weren't really showing up in that second game, so they're not very good. I'd say right now it's got to be Argentina.
Yeah.
As my second.
Absolutely. I
Germany's
was waiting for it. I was hoping that's what you were going to say because I was going to
Yeah.
have to chip in, but absolutely for me, yeah. Worst team is interesting. What is that? Is it based on expectation?
It's got to be expectation. I said Uruguay is the worst team. They're the highest ranked team that was eliminated. They played decent games, couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Maxi Araujo, their left back, was one of their leading performers. You can't have that on a team with like Valverde in the middle orchestrating things. So I was a little disappointed in them.
I feel like they had I don't want to call it a golden generation, but it feels like they had some really good players last World Cup and maybe the Copa in between that are not they've all retired or many retired, and so it's sort of like maybe the expectations were too high because of past history.
Maybe. I still had high expectations for them. I'm not sure what they were ranked on the world stage, but
yeah,
I'd hoped they would have gotten out of the group stage.
Best story has to be Cabo Verde, right? I mean,
hands down, yeah.
Hands
Make
up.
the knockout as that small country, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's political, to be honest, to talk about this worst story. So let's just say it. I'm gonna pull the trigger on that one because it sounds like it's going to be political, but because of everything that's happening outside of the World Cup. But let's just talk about the World Cup and what it's like if you were Switzerland or the United States or any other team under these conditions.
It's hard. You got to have a base, and their base is in Mexico. And then during the day of the game, Iran has to fly into the stadium, play the game, and fly out back to Mexico each game. So those conditions aren't ideal for any team. They didn't lose a game. They tied all 3. So they had a 0 goal difference. Could have made it through. They had a couple goals canceled, ruled out. So I'd say they played really well. They didn't lose. They should be in the knockout round, but who knows what the impact of the travel schedule and the restrictions that were put on them had.
Yeah, we may never know, but I'm sure at some point, post tournament, that kind of stuff will come out.
Yeah, they've
Um,
started putting some quotes out there, and who knows? I'm sure the story will come out more over the coming weeks, but coach was none too pleased.
4 minutes till 9. We were trying to be done by 9, but let's buzz through this. Anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I think those are my facts, I guess, from the opening group stage. We've already got a few games in the books for the knockout stage. My pick was Germany in that first game, but they blew against Paraguay, I guess. I had Canada, I had Brazil.
I did the same 3. Yep.
Yeah.
But
So
the games today so far, fantastic.
yeah.
Really good games. I didn't get to really watch the Brazil game. I had it on my phone on my desk on the little stand.
Yeah.
Just kind of like there, no noise. I was doing my stuff, making calls or emails, doing the work. And there it sat. And every once in a while, I'd get to look down and see. And a guy at work, the one I was texting during the Germany game, he goes, before the game started, he goes, if Japan go up 1-0, it's going to open up the betting for Brazil, who are like super big favorites. There's no point in betting on Brazil. So if Japan go up early, do I bet? I said, absolutely. There's a 0% chance, very small percent, huge upset. Brazil's going to win. And if they go down 1-0, I'd still pick them. Lo and behold, they went down 1-0 and came back, and he bet $100 and won 200. So,
nice.
And you'd never win that on Brazil if they didn't go down first.
No.
So,
and it was nice to see both Arsenal Gabbies kick in with the assist, Big Gabby with the first goal, and then the well-timed extra time goal from Martinelli.
Off the post, a Matt Davey favorite.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yep. Nice little curl off the inside.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, and then Germany, man, was it a foul? Was it a penalty kick? The tackle in the box?
I guess the one that I was mostly concerned about, I was screaming at the end when Ta put in the equalizer, or I mean the game winner. I was like, oh, goal. And then you see the replay, and it was definitely a foul. My buddy was at the game, and he's telling me, yeah, in real time, it looked like a foul, and I was just waiting for them to call it. They weren't calling it. He's like, I had no idea what was going on. And then like 5 minutes later, they announce it was a foul. So
when they showed it from the one angle where you're looking right at the goalie looking that way and the Germany player looking at us, generally speaking, he probably can see the goalie, but I don't see him looking at the goalie like it looks more like he's looking straight ahead and then kind of like at the ball coming in. So like if you accidentally bump somebody, even if it's the goalie and you're not looking because you're looking at the ball, I don't think that's a foul. And I wasn't watching because I was driving and listening, but somewhere along the way, a goalie said on the broadcast after the game, that wasn't a foul. And so I'm going what everybody else said, or some of the folks said, like, if the goalie says it's not a foul, but for me, that doesn't even, none of that in the penalty shootout happens if he jumps for the ball and basically 2 arms around from the Paraguay player, holding him down, and he can't really get the right angle and head on the ball, not called.
yeah.
How is that not a foul? And the same sort of like application of the rules for that foul versus the goalie foul just seems like that was a complete miss. So
yeah, agreed.
let's talk about United States of America and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Say that 5 times fast. No, thank you.
Nope, can't do that. Yeah.
Wednesday, the 1st, 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific, not 9 p.m. So I like that.
Yeah.
It's in the 49ers stadium out in the San Francisco Bay Area. So that's nice. Of course, it's on Fox. If you're in the UK, it's on BBC One. Winner goes to the round of 16 against the winner of Belgium or Senegal, who are going to play shortly before that game or
Yeah, so
earlier
they're
that day,
playing up in
whatever.
Seattle, and then that round of 16 game will be in Seattle too. So they won't have to move. Whoever the winner of that is gets to stay put.
We've played them 3 times, but never for anything but fun. We've 2 wins and a draw. Josie Altidore was one of the wins where we came back from 2 down to win it 4-3, and he had a hat trick. What else? What's next?
Well, I guess Bosnia, who are we looking forward to? They're the third worst country who made the knockout round behind Ghana, Cape Verde. This is their first ever knockout appearance, so they'll be coming to put on a show. I think our friend Seg Kolasinac, he's one of the main players on the outside fullback area. I think left back for Bosnia. He had a great save on the line in the early game in the group stage. Other than that, they do have old man Zeko up front.
And Jacko used to play for Team 115 Charges back in the day before they were cheating.
Yeah. Also, side note, how do you like the fact that they're paying 116 for Elliot Anderson, not 115? You gotta make it 116 so it doesn't.
I didn't realize. Now that you say it, it didn't occur to me. That's funny.
Yeah.
The jokes make themselves either way.
Yeah.
Were they asking 115 and they paid 116?
Probably they couldn't offer 115. They're like, we'll go one higher.
Yeah.
I heard
$40 million and $1.
Yeah. Someone said, I think Enzo Maresca was announced today, maybe, and somebody's saying, well, at least he's got history in bringing teams up from the championship.
That's awful.
I like that one.
That's awful.
Back to Bosnia, though.
FIFA projects Freeze, Dest, Richards, McKenzie, and Robinson at the back. Adams, McKennie, Tillman in the midfield. Pulisic, Balogun, and Weah, which is Weah up top. And I think ESPN projects, I'm trying to see if they project anyone different. It looks the same to me.
Yeah, I guess Weah would be my only question, but I think he played decent enough in their last round game versus Turkey that I'd keep him out there.
Freeman is in USA's projection instead of Weah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. Which he's a defender, right? So Freeman, Richards, Ream. Oh, they don't have Ream in the FIFA projected lineup. That's not right.
No, he's going to start. He'll be the captain, right?
Yeah. McKennie, Adams, Tillman, Dest. It looks like they're going to play. ESPN's projecting 5 at the back. I can't figure it out.
3 at the back, and then Dest on like a wing back kind of thing.
Yeah, instead of playing Weah or someone else. Yeah. Anyhow, everybody that ends in a C plus Jacko and the goalie is going to start for Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it is going to be Kolasinac, which will be fun. And he's a tank. I don't know if you guys all remember him, but he's an absolute tank. Any predictions?
I got the last prediction I made right, 2-0. I think with Bosnia, they're actually going to be tough on the defensive end. If you go back to how they got here in qualifying in their March games to get here, they won their 2 games in penalty shootouts. The last one over Italy to knock them out of the tournament. So they'll be playing, I think, just ultra defensively, big block. U.S. won't be able to use their speed, which they certainly have on the wings if they're playing 5 at the back most times. So I think it'll be low scoring. USA might be able to nick a 1-0 in a stressful contest. That's my guess.
I predicted Canada 2-0 What was the score?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I predicted Brazil 3-0. Let me go back and just look at World Cup schedule here. I predicted France tonight 2-1. Closer. Let me just see what I got here. Canada was 1-0. Brazil was 2-1. I said 3-0. 3-0. So yeah, that's no good. Germany lost.
Mm-hmm.
So that's no good. But I picked 2 winners out of 3 so far. So we'll see if Netherlands can win 1-0. For the USA, I have 3-0.
3-0. Okay. They have been putting a lot past their opponents. 4 in the first, 4 in the second, and then in the completely rotated team, or almost completely rotated team, they still put 2 past Turkey.
4 in the first, 2 in the second. No?
Was that 4? Yeah, 4-2-2. You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Tomorrow's games, I have Norway over Ivory Coast 2-1. What do you think?
I have Norway winning that one too.
What do you have for
2-0.
Netherlands tonight, right now?
I have Netherlands beating Morocco. I don't know. That's gonna be the game of the knockouts. I think 2 top 10 teams. I'm excited for that one.
I
Looks like
said 2-1. What are you saying?
I said 2-0
Netherlands win.
Yeah.
France over Sweden 3-1.
I'll give that to you. I had it 3-0.
I figure one of the 2 strikers has to score.
Somebody's got to get it to him though. Yeah.
Somebody's got to get him a ball. One or the other is going to give it to each other or something, and one of them is going to get a goal. 3-1. Mexico over Ecuador. I think that game's tomorrow too, right? So Mexico over Ecuador 3-2.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because they're playing at altitude or elevation. So I think they've got the advantage there. I like Ecuador defensively, so I don't have it being that high scoring. 1-0 to Mexico is what I would say.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. And then just to round out that day, Wednesday, I have England 3-1.
I'll take them 2-0.
Okay. I have Belgium 2-1 over Senegal, which is another one of those round of 32 bright lights.
I took Senegal on that one actually. I know our Belgian buddy's playing really well this tournament at 30 plus years old, Grandpa Trossard, but Senegal I thought had a pretty tough group with France and Norway. So I think they're probably the toughest third place team coming out. So I have them beating Belgium 2-1.
Who's their striker, Senegal? Like their leading goal scorer?
Is that Sar?
Maybe, yeah. And then USA 3-0. You said what?
USA, I have 2-0. All right,
Okay.
1-0. 1-0 USA.
1-0.
Making
Okay.
over Bosnia. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to shoot out.
I hope not. I can't.
So we'll see. I'm 2-1 and have no scores correct, but
2-1 still.
I predicted Argentina 6-0 later in the round of 32, the penultimate game.
I had 4-0 for that one.
Well, so yeah, I just think Messi's going to go off, but okay. Yeah. All right. Well, anything to add?
Who do you have in the Colombia match? I'm curious to that one because I had Colombia winning that one. That's the only one I think that was odd where I had the.
I have Ghana beating. I have Ghana, Colombia.
Ghana, Colombia winning.
No, I have Ghana beating Colombia.
Okay.
2-1. I actually have Ghana, Algeria beating Switzerland 2-1, Egypt beating Australia 1-0, and so I have three African teams going through.
Oh wow. I have Egypt, I have Switzerland, I have Colombia, and then I've been pretty impressed with Colombia, so I have them actually beating Switzerland in the round of 16.
I haven't gone that far yet.
Yeah.
Any other African? You said Senegal, so you said Egypt, Senegal. Any other African teams?
Egypt, Senegal.
Did you pick Netherlands or
I
Morocco?
picked Netherlands. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
just
you've
those
got
two.
two going through. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there was a lot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then who's England's opponent? DR Congo. Nine teams from
Yep.
Africa,
Made the
which
knockout.
it's the expanded round of 32, but that's a lot, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's exciting. It's good for Africa, and I like it. It says a lot about football on that continent. That I
Yeah.
think people are finally getting to see that they're competing in ways that we haven't seen a lot of against international teams.
Yeah.
So
And then what about Asia? I thought they were pretty disappointing. South Korea, after that first game, I was expecting more. Yeah, that PSG midfielder who was just playing lights out. But then they played poorly their second and third. And then Japan started off nice against Germany, or Brazil, and then just fell apart.
yep, and yeah, and lost pretty easily. We'll see what Australia has to do, but I think that's the last team for
Yeah, it's
Asia.
not
Well,
there.
that's Oceania, but I mean Asia, Oceania. But yeah, I mean that's it. That's left for like half the
Yeah.
globe, which is insane.
Yeah.
Um,
Canada's through. U.S. has that game with Bosnia, Mexico. Could all three host nations be through to the round of 16?
could be.
That
That's
would be
it
good.
for the North America, though, right?
Yep.
CONCACAF, yeah.
Yep.
And I think we would expect the host nations to maybe go a little deeper. Usually, that's true.
Yeah. I think
So
especially with that elevation advantage that Mexico will have versus Ecuador.
yeah, because they wouldn't have trained at elevation.
No.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, we'll see when we're back. I think we might do Thursday after the USA game. We're going to have to see how that goes and see. Matt's on vacation, so hopefully he'll want to join us. But if not, maybe we'll hold off till Sunday. I don't know. I don't want to be irrelevant 3 or 4 days later. But we'll see how it goes, and then just check in with him on that. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the World Cup. Enjoy football every day and every night.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a time outside the World Cup where there's this much. And this World Cup in particular, with so many games to play, is very different than I think previous World Cups. And it's interesting too, because it's here. So they're not at all the weird times for us.
Yeah. Finally, we don't have to wake up at ungodly hours to watch European leagues. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the round of 32 goes through Friday, right? So we could kind of predict our 16 and on. Have your bottle challenge for the 16 and on.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying maybe we record on Friday?
I think there's gonna be a late game Friday, but if he's back on Saturday, that's gonna be 4th of July. Never mind.
Well, let's see how it goes. But definitely we're going to record not long after the USA game. I don't want to wait till Sunday. I think we can do a round of 32 recap on Sunday.
Yeah.
So hopefully Thursday. Hopefully Thursday. We'll look for that. Good to see your face.
Good to see you.
See ya.
Good Gunners day, except for Kai's penalty. 2 goals and assists today. Not a bad day.
It was, yeah. It was. God, Kai.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
See you, Kevin.